We know that primarily the most important thing is affordability. We know for a fact that we're at the all-time low of people in their 30s that are married and own homes, and it's crazy. And the whole government, everyone's trying to figure this out, and it's trying to address affordability, it's trying to address what's available.
Even though affordability is definitely the number one thing, people today are so cost-driven that the use has to outweigh the pretty.
What's up, homie?
What's up?
All right. So I want to talk for a second about where we came from, where we are today, and we're moving into 2026, and we're on this thing of like elevating all the time. And so we know for a fact in 2026 we'll build more barndominiums than we've ever built in our whole entire life. Probably be the biggest year in company history. There's so many things that we've done, so many triggers we've built, so many opportunities. We've expanded like crazy. We've improved the process. We've removed the cost of onboarding. Like, we've done everything in the world to make it as easily accessible to families to build barndominiums as ever before.
Right.
But with some of the things that we do, like if I look back to like year one Barndo to today, the way we build, the way we've improved it, the way we've built this incredible building envelope, the way we've built this incredible energy efficiency, the way we've elevated the bar, and we won't go below it. So like, not often, because I think head to head with a custom builder, we blow them out of the water with our affordability.
Right.
But there's other people out here that are building buildings, and we get it all the time. We're like, well, so and so can build it for less, and we're like, please let them build it for you, because we're not going to deviate from what we know is a good version of a home that's going to set you up for long-term success.
Right.
That's going to hold its value. We want to build these legacy 50 to 100-year homes with low maintenance, high energy efficiency, and all these things. But we're always looking to raise the bar. I don't think we've ever made it a full calendar year without improving something along the way.
Something's been added every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think we have an absolutely elevated standard to the way that we build.
Especially with technology. So like, there's a lot of things that we're doing now that we're preparing for. You had some great ideas. I was on the way over here earlier and we were talking about it. You want to bring up some of them?
Yeah. So we're always forward thinking. So we thought it would be fun to get on here and talk about some of the things we're thinking about, but also open it up so you guys can drop comments on the page and give us some ideas as consumers. What's important to you? We know that primarily the most important thing is affordability. We try to address that with our SFH line of products, right? It's not built as a Barndo, but it is still built superior to what a lot of stick-built homes are like, and it still gives you the ability to get a really nice home. And now you can go on our Facebook and in our galleries on our website and see finished SFH, and you're like, wow, that looks like a Barndo. We didn't cut a lot of corners. We cut some of the things to address affordability, and we're still trying to pioneer that. We know this. We know for a fact that we're at the all-time low of people in their 30s that are married and own homes, and it's crazy. And the whole government, everyone's trying to figure this out, and it's trying to address affordability. It's trying to address what's available. Over the summer, for the first time ever, there was about 500,000 homes surplus to what was available buyers. And it wasn't that there's that lack of people. We're millions of units behind of what's needed. The gap right now is affordability. We can't do anything about interest rates. We can't do anything about those things, but we're always looking for ways to improve and figure it out and figure out what is the next piece to make things more affordable. Where are the opportunities to do that for people? So we're looking at that. But in addition to that, when housing is at an all-time high, right, and we know that, and we know that you got to spend your money, we try to value engineer in a way to where we can keep the cost down to you to get a superior product that's going to last you for the test of time, hold its value very well, and if you plan on being there, which I think a lot of our people are building their forever homes, that it's going to serve you well for the duration of the time that you're there.
I think the biggest thing moving into 2026 is use. Even though affordability is definitely the number one thing, people today are so cost driven that the use has to outweigh the pretty. And so, let me give you an example. Like I just built one in Arkansas where I built the house like on stilts basically, but I built it with a garage underneath it, and then there's 2,400 square feet up top. That house can be built cheaper than a 2,400 square foot on the ground and a separate garage. And the same situation with, we had a client a while back where they're wanting to put solar panels on a house. And I've always been absolutely against solar panels when they're attached to the surface. They now make metal that has the solar panel in the panel.
Well, that's what the second biggest thing behind affordability and longevity is energy efficiency, because the cost of energy is at an all-time high. And there is a huge push to move to green energy. I think that some of that was, abruptly decided, and there was a lot of corruption and things to where we built a lot of things that aren't there. But harnessing the power of the sun is probably the greatest energy resource on the face of the planet. And the technology has improved so much that I do believe in the next 10 years, you're going to see a massive push to generating battery capacity. Like battery-driven electric sources are going to be huge, and you can do it on a big scale with solar, because then you have a way to re-energize the battery. And so as we look at some of those things, and we see the technology improving. Yes, they make a metal panel with a fully integrated solar there, and we know the guys that do it. And I like, it's one of those things where we don't want to roll that out as this is what we include, because it is expensive. But what we do want to do is have the option to do it for you. But even outside of that, maybe you buy your home, and then in the next 3 to 5 years, there's a huge push for solar, and there's a massive benefit for you to have that capacity at your home. We're wanting to move in the direction of you're pre-wired, you're pre-designed for the connection,
ready to go,
even if it's at a later date. So it's a pre-construction thought for a post-construction implementation.
Right.
And we want to do that with a lot of different things. Like, I think equipping all garages with a pre-wired spot for superchargers for electric vehicles. I think building, pre-installing things to the panel for solar implementation and or generator backups, and having that become a standard in the build. I think integrating soft line technology and stuff for smart homes. Everybody's got an app. You can go to Walmart and buy a light bulb you can control with your phone. It's coming. It's coming. And so what we're trying to do is figure out, how do we include it at a level where we don't impact affordability, but it's an option for people where affordability is not an issue, but it's also in the affordable house that we're building for future integration at a later date. Those kind of things. Another thing that we're doing is we're revitalizing a lot of the designs and plans and things that we have, and we're constantly receiving feedback on from people all over the world about plans. Some of it's just personal preference, but there's a lot of things where you're having multi-generational houses now, where there's multi-generational family members in a house, and we do a ton of stuff with a connected or detached or attached ADU and all these different things. So we're trying to come up with what does that look like to integrate it into a home, so that if that's what someone's looking for, that they know it's available, because we can always customize something. And we've done it numerous times, but we want to be on the forefront of what is the demand, so we can help solve the gap. And if the gap could be solved with, multi-generational house design, then let's offer that. If the gap can be done with combination of, solars and tax credits and reduced energy consumption costs and reduced energy costs altogether, let's build towards that. Let's look at how we elevate it. We never cut corners. We put in as top of line insulation as you can get. We're way above what the energy rating is for the areas we build in. The longevity piece on the outside with metal is way miles beyond what the standard building practices are around here. Right. But those types of things are what we're trying to hone in on 2026 and start implementing them into the design, and start looking at ways that we're preparing people for the future before the future arrives. It's no surprise, man. AI's on the rise. There's all kinds of things that you got Elon out here building Optimus robots. Who knows? Optimus robots are going to be like cell phones in the beginning. Who would want that? I don't want to carry a phone everywhere. And then you go buy the original Nextel, and it was $2,000 and $2,700 a month to use it if you talk for 15 minutes. And now every person on planet Earth, there are people that live in countries that don't even have a home to live in, but they have a cell phone.
Oh, definitely will have a robot.
Can we get one that
I want to name mine R2D2.
Can we get one that can install metal? But the Optimus is coming. We know this, and we don't even know what it's going to look like. Right now, you're just mind blown that it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But imagine when it rolls out. Imagine what 10 years after it rolls out looks like. It's going to be there. It's going to be a part of people's lives. Maybe not everybody's life, but some people are going to lean into that, and some people won't. You know, we still want to have the ability to build for you if you want a wood-burning furnace, right? But we also want to have the ability, if you're looking for a long-term house and you are on the cusp of these things, how do we do that? How do we integrate some of the things? How can we pre-integrate? You know, we build a lot of rural areas. How can we pre-integrate a Starlink connections so it's there when you put your Starlink out, you have a conduit to run it back inside the home? Those little things. And we do this for customers at their request, but how do we implement that into a standard of build? Because things are moving, man. We're not far away from the old days of Wi-Fi being gone. I mean, we're probably inside of a 5-year circle to where satellite-driven stuff is going to be, you know, way faster, way more affordable, and have way more reach and impact, and connect you on a more secured loop. And like, there's a lot of things that are happening.
I think there's a big push. I think there's a big push in multifamily.
Yes.
And I think there's a big push in tiny.
Well, but see, here's my opinion on the multifamily. I think you're right, but I think it's not what has been traditionally done. 3-story walk-ups, that's a dying breed. Row housing's big right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even more than that, the families we're serving, when we say multifamily, we're talking multi-generational family compound. You're seeing a lot of that, right? And our goal is to reclaim the American dream. And we want to reclaim the American dream for people earlier than it's happening now. And so we're constantly trying to solve the problem of how can we make it more affordable. And like, people get on there all the time. Well, I was going to build Barndo, but this is cost just as much as a regular house. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, go a little deeper. If you're telling me that it costs as much as a regular house, look at your, quote, regular house, and then look at the benefits and value and long-term value of the barndominium by comparison. I think it's more of an education of the way that we build is so superior for long-term lasting value, and the ability to be so modular for renovation that it changes the game a little bit.
It always goes back to the same thing. We're not D.R. Horton.
No.
We don't build track homes.
No.
But we have pretty close to track home pricing.
Yes.
And we allow you to fully custom rip a set of plans within reason. And then inside that, we allow you to put some pretty custom options inside your house.
Yes.
So let's always compare apples to apples. We are $100 a square less than a custom builder. I don't care who you are, what area you're in. You're not going to find a custom builder that's at $175, $185 or less at our pricing.
I agree.
You're not going to do it.
Yep.
And then that's just a situation where it's a moot argument that it's not even worth our time to even argue that.
I agree.
Now, I agree with you. I think the future is multifamily on a single plane where it's full-on family compound, because I don't think the generations today can afford housing.
Yeah.
They can't do it. And we will figure that out.
Yeah. That's the goal. So look, like, here's the thing. We don't claim to be the smartest, but we do claim to be the craziest to try to implement it. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, you're watching this, and you've had it pent up inside of you, and you want to provide the details, I don't care. Rant right there in the comments, right? You can rant at us.
I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah. You can holler at us, or you can provide some valuable, critical feedback that you think is a great idea to implement, something that adds value to you. Hey, no guarantee that we're going to agree with you.
But we want to hear it.
But we do want to hear it, because every piece of feedback that flows into this business at some point goes across our desk, goes through our minds, and we have a conversation around it, right? No, good, bad, or indifferent.
Your idea may change the face of this company depending on what we serve.
Yep, 100%.
So, drop it.
So that's one thing. The ongoing, affordability thing, there's a lot of things that are happening there. There's we were talking about this in a board meeting the other day of, the generation kind of Gen Z is almost like was abandoned from the housing perspective because you had the crash in '08, and then houses became so cheap and you could buy them for half of what it cost to build them. And so what ended up happening? These BFRs popped up everywhere, and BlackRock and all the big guys came in and they bought out tens of thousands of homes and they rented them. And then you couldn't replace it. And so what did they do? They started the BFR at that point where it was build for rent. And they came in and created their own development and construction companies, and they go in and they build a subdivision that they own and they rent them. And then by doing that, it shorts the market for affordability and rises costs and raises the cost of land. You got all these people competing. And I'd say at this point in time, depending on where you live, but it's specifically where we build, your cost of land is where the affordability issue is more so than the cost to build, because we have done a lot of work to reduce the cost to build and maintain it. We could charge astronomically more money than we do. But we have value engineered to be able to build something that will withstand the test of time, that is absolutely built better than what the standard option is. But cost of land, there's so much competition for land. And so until we figure out a way to combat that and figure these things out, and it might, I mean, who knows? There may be Barndo communities in the future. There may be, a plethora of different things. So we have no shortage of ideas, but the goal is to continuously optimize and drive forward a product. And look, if the rates increase or they change the way mortgages are driven or whatever they do to make the monthly affordability better, they're not making long-term affordability better, but they're trying to make the monthly affordability better. The portable mortgage. Like I seen that yesterday on X.
Yeah.
That they're trying to, make the portable mortgage a thing. You know what that would do for this country? Every single person that bought a house in 2020 with a 2.7 or they refinanced into a 2.7, 2.5 sub 3% mortgage, they could sell their home and go buy a new home and transfer that mortgage with those terms and that credit and that interest rate to the new purchase. If that happened, that solves a lot of problems for a lot of people, but it still leaves about 70% of the population in the dark with unforeseeable costs to go and leverage money. But that would create an uptick in an insurgence. So there's a bunch of people trying to solve that problem. Our objective is, how do we continue to maintain a baseline of being affordable, but constantly improving the living conditions and constantly looking ahead? If you've built with us and you moved in and you said, man, I wish I would have thought of that prior. If you're planning to build and there's some things that you're looking for and you're like, it might make sense for you to do it after the build, right? Some of those things, like your lender won't even let you include in a mortgage because you got to fight appraisals. There's all kinds of things. So sometimes it is in your benefit to do it post-construction. But if you could integrate it into the construction so that any point in the future, whether it was the day after you receive CO move in, right, and made your final payment. But
yes.
If it was that day or if it was 10 years in the future, but it was already waiting to just be plugged and
That's
played.
the biggest thing, is as long as you can give me the list of what you anticipate putting in the future, your life will be 1,000% easier.
Yes. Are you looking for a home, but you're tired of the cookie cutter options that you find everywhere? You want something to stand out, and rather than look for a conversation starter in your home, allow your home to be that? Head over to thebarndoco.com, browse our floor plans, click that contact us button, and let's start building your dream Barndo today. That's some of the stuff that we're trying to do to drive, just
Innovation.
Yeah, drive innovation, but also try to foster ways to make more scales of economy. Because there's only so much you can do. Like we don't control the cost of materials. We don't control the cost of labor. That's dictated by inflation. And then we can't control the cost of land. We can't control the interest rates at the bank. We can only control what we can control. So we're constantly looking at like, okay, if we can't fluctuate price, how do we manipulate value? And so that's kind of the side of this that we're on, and we would love to hear your opinions and your ideas.
Yeah. So if you have an idea, drop one.
100%.
Yep.
Outside of that, 2026, what you thinking?
I'm thinking we're going to build the crap out of some houses.
Oh, I know that already. They're coming.
Y'all, onboarding is free. Do you know? Listen, I wore this collared shirt today because TJ Put his hands around my throat. I was glad that it happened. I was glad. It's definitely changed the face of onboarding.
I was going to say,
people.
you said it with like a little bit of like encouragement that time.
I am.
When the first time I told you that we were going to do that, you were like, have you lost your ever-loving mind?
I just want to let y'all know I onboarded 2 people myself. Shout out, Chris Stark. I got you, bro. So you don't even know about that.
No, I don't.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's extremely more. I feel in the beginning it was necessary to weed out a lot of the niche tire kickers.
Yep.
And it was very good. Now that we're more in a stable market, our name is solid. They know that we build what we build. We don't have any kind of negative connotation of, hey, we don't, Barndo builders in and of itself, man. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's flipping a coin.
Jeez.
It's flipping a coin.
I cringe when I see Facebook.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know.
Yeah.
And it just litters the feed. But, man.
But let's land the plane on here and let's be real. You want me to tell you why the idea popped in my mind to make onboarding free? Because I was sick and tired of people who never spent money with our company, who looked at it as if it was unaffordable and had an opinion about how we operated.
Mm-hmm.
And to level the field to say, we're here to be the leader. And if you investing $5,000 against a $500,000 investment is a hang up for you because someone had an opinion about our company, I'm going to take that away from you. And I'm going to say, I will roll the dice and take all of the risk because I believe in what we've built so much that I'll let you walk in the doors and do this for free.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm ready. If we fail you, we fail you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and say, look, dude, with our standard onboarding that we did, $5,000, $7,500, we even had people that onboarded at $10,000 and $15,000 for various projects. The onboarding cost, even with it, thousands of people have came in. Have we had a few people that left bad reviews and stuff? Yes. But the crazy part about it was almost none of them actually built. Almost none of them. And so it was just an idea where I was like, you know what? We're at a place where I have such confidence in this that I do not even care. Flood me. Flood me with the opportunity to impress you to the point to where I know what you're doing. You're shopping. Come shop. That's been my philosophy since the beginning. The difference was you had to invest a little money to get that, and then we tell you go shop. We've said it from the beginning. Choose us. Don't just use us. We know that we're going to prepare all this for you. We're going to go into a real accurate detail. We're going to take into consideration your lot prep, your utility costs, your septic planning, your sewer tie-in, your water, your utilities, and all these different things. We're going to let you come to our showroom. You're going to pick very methodically different levels, and we're going to systemize that all down into a absolute turnkey quote for you. And you're going to get it. And we're going to give you 2 weeks before you have to sign it, Bob and Mary. And why do we do that? Because we know what you want to do. You want to go see Tank Top Tommy and,
Top Tommy.
Yeah, Truck Stop Terry, right? Like you want to go see them. You want to go see them. Tank Top Tommy said he'd do a Barndo. Let's take this to him, see what he says.
I just want to let y'all know right now, right here, there's a promo code. You can onboard for free. Ross is the man.
Ross is the man. But look, we know you're going to do it. We've allowed that. And the only difference was back then when you paid, you get the plans.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no, you don't. Because unfortunately, we've seen people build our plans. There's people right now promoting our plans on the internet, trying to sell our plans and trying to claim that, oh, look what we can do. Bull crap. You are wrong. You are wrong. Barndo Co plans are Barndo Co plans that were generated by the way we built, how we built, designed with every method of construction that we put into them. And we pioneered that. And what I can't stand beside is to see someone else out there trying to be a cut rate hack, build something that we put all of our blood, sweat, and tears into, and then post it on the internet. And people will be like, oh, I built the Maple with Tank Top Tommy. And I'm like, no, you did not. You built a building. You built a building.
I had that happen last week.
It happens all the time.
I had a guy literally take a video, and he was like, I want you to look at this video, and I want this house built this way. I don't know who the builder was, but this is the house that we want. And he sent me the Godfrey barn. And I was like, well, that's crazy, man, because I can take you to that barn because we built it.
Yeah.
He was like, I got this from some dudes up in New York. They copied us. It's our video.
Yeah.
It's me in the background.
Yeah. No, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And look, you can't blame them, right?
Yeah, I
you
know.
can't get enough of a good thing.
I know.
But the deal is this: roll the dice. You can now do it for free, and we'll give you everything. We will hand it to you on a silver platter, and you can go see Tank Top Tommy and your Uncle Ricky, and you can call around and you can see if anybody can beat the price. And our goal in that is this: that we want to wow you to the point when you see the level of finishes, when you understand the building science behind it, when you see the attention to detail, and you see the integrity behind what we've built, that you would go, you know what, to save $20,000, which is essentially $7 or $8 a month on my mortgage payment, it ain't worth it. Because we're not the cheapest. I'll say it to you right now. We will not be the cheapest quote you get.
My favorite quote, I've been dropping it for weeks. You think we're expensive? Try hiring a bad Barndo builder.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
That's the truth.
That's for sure. And there's a litany of them on there. Like you just go read them. Like go read them. So here's the thing. Does everyone that builds with us have a stellar experience? No, but an overwhelming majority of them, 90+%, 95+%, are raving fans by the end of the process. You will never please everyone. But here's what I know. I removed the paywall. You know how many people out here sold against that paywall? Don't pay them $5,000, man. Come over here. We'll do it for free. Well, I just leveled the field up. You can come into the Cadillac dealership, sit in the Cadillac, and test drive the Cadillac for no money down, or you can go down the road to Kia. And I'll stand on that. I'll stand on it for the rest of my life. We are in a position. We have a big staff. We have a phenomenal process. And in addition to that, this is the fun part for me, because I've said this before. I'm absolutely an unreasonable human being when it comes to setting goals and standards. We sped up the process. Our objective right now is, if you're building one of our stock plans or an SFH plan, that you onboard, and then there's a couple things that you do prior, like for retrieval of information prior to scheduling your first look and your showroom experience, is from that day though, from your day one, we want you to have the opportunity to be under contract and send that thing to finance in 30 days. And used to, we'd have people complaining about how long it took, because we want to be thorough and accountable to details. And the thing is, though, we've been doing it now for 4 years, and we've got it dialed in, and we've got it so systemized that if you come in and say, I want to build the maple plan, I just want to pick the colors and the finishes on the inside, 30 days later, you got it dialed up, ready to go. And in that 30 days, we've come to your land, we've assessed it, we've put in grading quotes, we put in what it costs to build your driveway, what the septic utilities, all the different things that are going to go in there. And the goal is 30 days. Could we be longer than that? Sure, but it'll be you that caused it, not us. And the thing about it is, and I say that because you might not have all your documents together. You might not have all your ducks in a row. You may not have already applied to have a septic tank permit. There's things that go into that where we have to become a team. But we're setting the standard for our due diligence to be in 30 days or less to get you there. And the crazy thing is, we had clients in the beginning where it might have been 180, 280 days to get there because there was a lot to figure out. Mm-hmm. We've streamlined the process. We've made it super good. And the fact of the matter is, man, like, we made it free. We made it better. And we made it faster. Mm-hmm. And so
what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Get on down to Ross and TJ's, but like that's the reality is, it's free, it's faster, and it's better than it's ever been.
Yeah, but it comes from a place of service.
Yeah. Look, I don't want you to invest with me until I've earned your business.
Yeah. It comes from a place of service. It's not us. We don't care if you call Tom, Tommy, or whoever it is.
No, we want you to.
Rock on.
And look, and I'm not throwing shade. We want our objective from the beginning was to get you into your dream. And your dream may need to be built, designed, engineered, and delivered by someone other than us. We have an avatar. There is a certain group of people that we're the right builder for. There's a certain group of people we're not. But the thing is, like, I don't want you to have to pay $5,000 to figure that out. I want you to get that information for free. Come on down, try it out, see what you like, right? You may have a better understanding of how we arrive at some of those finished prices once you go through the process. But the cool thing is, it's informational and educational. So when you do leave us and you go talk to the other, and it ain't to say that they're all Tank Top Tommies. There's some phenomenal Barndo builders. I'm friends with all of them. I don't cast shade on any of them. Like, you just follow Facebook groups. Hell, I go in there and drop their name. They'll tell you in a heartbeat. Hey, call them. They're great too. But at least when you go into that environment and that meeting, you know what to look for. You know what to expect. You should be looking at the same level of detail. Are they providing that? And I think it opens people's eyes and it gives them a better chance of, regardless of who you build with, you end up with a great experience. And that is the number one goal here. We know we can't build everybody's house. It'd be impossible, right? There's 1 million people that want a barndominium. There's no way we could build 1 million. Right. So that's not it. But this is funny. I want to circle back to this because we used to get, it just takes forever. Well, yeah. I mean, we're trying to get it right because we want to get it right before we start construction. You know, like we give you a flat number. We don't make changes. We don't say, well, this came in a little more than we anticipated. No, it's here's what it costs. We've always been that way since day one. We have people since we dropped it down on October 1st, made free onboarding. All this. We've had, I don't know the exact number, more than 2 that have called in and said, well, guys, this is moving way too fast.
Oh, I know. I already know about it.
This is moving way too fast. And I said, hey, I'll take that all day because if you hit pause, wonderful.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to ever feel like we did.
Yeah.
And so it's took a lot of time to get it this dialed in to be able to move this efficiently and cover all the details and get it right.
Yeah, it was very hard for Lance to tell me that.
Yeah.
Because Lance was extremely excited and extremely heartbroken at the same time.
Yeah. He's like, people,
we're so efficient, but they want to hold.
Yeah, they're scared, man. They're like, we all board on Tuesday, and you guys are trying to get us in a contract Friday.
Yeah.
Like but the thing about it is this: I want you to be able to move at the pace you're comfortable with, but I don't want you to ever feel like you're waiting on me. Right? If you came to my steakhouse and I brought the steak to the table, it's up to you to pick up the knife and fork and decide when to eat it. Yeah. Right? But I don't want you to be sitting there going,
where's my food?
I'm on my 4th glass of wine. Where's my steak? Yeah. You know, because that's a negative experience. But 2026 is going to be a hell of a ride. It's going to be crazy.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. There's a lot of things happening. One of the big things, the upstate, I think will finally be getting a facelift and getting some new facilities up here because they're in desperation of it. They've got the oldest building, the oldest thing, and it's kind of a conglomerate because there's like 50 people that work in the upstate office, so there's more need for office than showroom, and so that's coming.
And the other thing is this: is like we're constantly building offices in places of need. If you're somewhere and you know that there's a lot of people, drop a pin, drop a location and say, hey, we want you here because we can't just build an office. I know.
You just open the floodgates.
I know it. But the problem with it is this: is we're not going to go build an office for one person.
Right.
We need a bunch. We need that data. Yep. And that's the biggest thing is if there's a need, we will go. Yep. Make no mistake, we will go.
Hey, well, look, Georgia is your perfect opportunity to shine. We opened up Georgia Maps. We've got people onboarded. We've got people in contract. We got people coming up to be able to start building in Georgia. First of the year, we will be going vertical on Georgia Builds. There is a threshold of where that office location is going to be. That map is triggered up and it's color coded and it's based on some variables in there. But we're in Georgia. We are coming with design centers. We're just waiting on you guys to tell us where. And this is how we've been this methodical all the time. We just haven't marketed it so in advance as we did with Georgia. But Georgia's coming. And then there's several other opportunities and several other things that we're working on simultaneously. But to be honest with you guys, we don't have plans right now to open 3 new offices in 2026 because we just did that chaos. And there's a lot of people. We have a lot of things that we're trying to build, but we want to. We're ready to. We're just at a point now where it's like, where else should we go? So yes, please feel free, drop a comment, right? And I know we're going to get Indiana, Kentucky, we're going to get Ohio, we're going to get Texas. And Texas. Do me a favor, put where you're at in Texas. Put where you're at because that's a big place. That's a big place, right? You could take our current geography and put it in Texas, and we still couldn't build the whole state of Texas. So, and we build a lot. We build in a lot of places. So, we're excited. We want to know where people want us to be because we want to come to you.
That's right.
We have a desire to be there. Right now we have a need to address our next 4 locations, and we've got to put those on paper, flesh them out, and have them under a plan of construction in 2026 for 4 more locations. That is the next wave. There will be 4. I'm telling you now, there's 4. They're coming. We haven't made our mind up on where every one of them will be. But yeah, it's geographical reach It's the improvement of what we're already building. How can we add additional value? We want all of your feedback. We want you to tell us that. And then also, if you've been on the fence, come try it out. Maybe you haven't heard, onboarding's free. We want to give this away, man. We want you to get your questions answered. Come in, talk to us. We are the best. We are the best. And I can say that because I have no strings attached to it. I'm not going to ask you to sign a contract until we do our due diligence. I'm not going to ask you to put a penny down until I process this with you and we get everything on paper and we do the site visits and we orchestrate what it looks like. We'll do it for free. We want you to win. We want to give you the information. We want you to have a great experience. Yeah. So, other than that,
if you've got any ideas, drop them in the comments. I think it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
That was fun. Welcome to 2026.